Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? Think about that. Would you feel 18, fearless and full of life? Or maybe 65, wise and experienced? You see, age is just a number, a label society sticks on us. But you are so much more. Today, I'm here to tell you one thing. Do not let your age define your potential. In this video, I'm going to explain this topic in 7 powerful points that will completely shift your perspective. And here's the challenge. Watch the full video, absorb every point, and then check the question I've left for you in the comments. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. Your potential is limitless, regardless of your age. Let's dive in. 1. The timeline trap. Let's talk about the trap society sets for us. You know the one I'm talking about. It goes like this. By 18, you should know what you want to do with your life. By 25, you should have a steady career and maybe even a house. By 35, you should be at the peak of your success. And after 65, they tell you to retire, relax, and quietly fade into the background. Who decided this? Who says you can't achieve greatness at 15 or 75? Why do we let these timelines dictate what we believe about ourselves? The truth is, these timelines are imaginary. They're societal constructs. And guess what? You don't have to follow them. How many of you have heard the words too young or too old? Maybe you're in your teens and someone said, you're too young to know anything about life. Or maybe you're in your 40s and someone told you, you're too old to start over. Let me tell you something powerful. The greatest moments of human achievement happened when people ignored those words. 2. Age is not a limitation. It's an advantage. Let's shift our perspective for a moment. Age isn't a limitation. It's an asset. If you're young, you have the gift of energy, time, and a fresh perspective. If you're older, you have the wisdom, patience, and resilience that comes from years of experience. Imagine what happens when you start seeing your age as your superpower instead of a barrier. 3. Real-life proof. That age is just a number. Let me hit you with some powerful examples. Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC until he was 62. Think about that. At an age when most people are told to slow down, he built one of the most successful brands in the world. Malala Yousafzai won the Nobel Peace Prize at 17. Most teenagers are worried about exams, but she was changing the world. Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel, didn't find his true success until he was nearly 40. Grandma Moses, a famous painter, didn't pick up a brush until her 70s. Do you see the pattern? These people ignored the world's timelines. They didn't let too young or too old stop them. Now let me ask you, what could you achieve if you stopped letting age hold you back? 4. The fear of starting. One of the biggest reasons we let age define us is fear. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of being laughed at. If you're young, you might think, what if they don't take me seriously? If you're older, you might think, what if I embarrass myself trying something new? Here's the truth. People will always have opinions, but their opinions don't define your life. Let me share a powerful quote. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Those words came from C.S. Lewis, and they couldn't be truer. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the thing you've always wanted to do. Is it starting a business? Writing a book? Learning a new skill? Now ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen if you tried? What's the best thing that could happen if you succeeded? The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't age, it's action. 5. How to harness your age for greatness. Now that we've shattered the myth that age defines you, let's talk about how to use your age as a tool for success. Young listeners, use your energy. If you're in your teens or 20s, this is your moment to take risks. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're your greatest teachers. Start something bold. Be curious. Learn from every experience. Middle-aged listeners, use your wisdom. In your 30s, 40s, and 50s, you have the advantage of perspective. You've seen enough to know what works and what doesn't. You've built resilience. Use that to fuel your next chapter. Older listeners, use your legacy. If you're 60 or older, it's time to ask, what do I want to leave behind? Your age gives you the ability to mentor, to inspire, and to create something lasting. 6. The cost of waiting. Let me ask you something deeply personal. How many dreams have you already let slip away because you told yourself it's not the right time? Maybe it was starting that business you've always dreamed about. Maybe it was learning that skill you've been fascinated by. Or maybe it was simply taking a step toward a healthier, happier version of yourself. Here's the truth you need to hear today. The perfect time is a myth. Life doesn't hand you a neon sign that says, now is the moment. In fact, if you keep waiting for everything to align, your finances, your confidence, your circumstances, you will wait forever. Think about it. How many of us have said, I'll do it when I have more time, or I'll start when I feel ready? Let me tell you something. The people who achieve greatness aren't the ones who feel ready. They're the ones who take action before they're ready. They're the ones who look fear in the face and say, I'm going to do it anyway. Every day you wake up is another chance, another opportunity to take a step, no matter how small, toward your dream. Picture this. Imagine you're holding a jar, and each day is a marble you place inside. At the end of your life, what will that jar look like? Will it be filled with marbles of action, effort, and courage? Or will it be empty, filled with nothing but excuses and missed chances? Here's a hard truth. You don't have forever. But the beauty is, you don't need forever. All you need is today. Right here, right now, you have the power to begin. So I'll ask you again, how many dreams are you willing to lose before you finally decide to take action? Let today be the day you stop waiting and start living. I once heard about a woman named Nola Oakes, who became the world's oldest college graduate at 95. 95. When people asked her why she did it, she said, because I wanted to. That's it. She didn't care about her age. She cared about her dream. Now, what's your excuse? 7. Your legacy is waiting. Let's talk about legacy. Not the kind of legacy where your name is etched on a plaque or immortalized in a history book, but the legacy that lives in the hearts of the people you've touched, the memories you've created, and the lives you've transformed. Because at the end of it all, it's not the size of your bank account or the accolades on your wall that define you. It's the difference you made. When people look back on your life, do you think they'll care about how old you were when you started chasing your dreams? Do you think they'll measure your worth by how late or early you began? No. What they will care about is the impact you made, the courage you showed, the kindness you shared, and the lives you lifted up along the way. Take a moment to think about Nelson Mandela. This man spent 27 years in prison, separated from his family, his home, and his dreams. For most people, that would have been the end of the story. They'd have thrown in the towel, resigned to a fate of bitterness or regret. But not Mandela. He walked out of that cell not with anger, but with vision, not with despair, but with hope. And at 76 years old, an age when many would have retreated into the shadows of retirement, he stepped into the global spotlight to become the president of South Africa. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think anyone looks back on his life and says, but wasn't he too old for that? Absolutely not. What they remember is his strength, his resilience, and his refusal to let age or circumstance define his destiny. Because here's the truth. Your legacy isn't determined by when you start. It's determined by how you finish. Imagine this. Picture your life as a book. Maybe the first few chapters weren't what you hoped they'd be. Maybe they were filled with setbacks, struggles, and mistakes. Maybe they were filled with moments where you doubted yourself, where you gave up too soon, or where you felt like you weren't enough. But here's the thing about your story. You are still holding the pen. Every single day, you get to turn the page. Every single moment, you get to decide what comes next. The past may shape you, but it doesn't define you. The most powerful, inspiring stories are rarely the ones where everything went perfectly from the start. They're the ones where the hero rises, despite the odds, and finishes strong. So what kind of ending are you going to write? What kind of legacy are you going to leave? If you walk away from this speech with just one thing, let it be this. Age doesn't define your potential. You do. Your life is a story waiting to be written. Whether you're at the beginning, the middle, or nearing the end, there's always time to turn the page and start a new chapter. So my question for you is, what will your next chapter be? If this message lit a fire in you, don't let it fade. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to this journey, turn on notifications, and let's prove to the world that age is just a number. Because whether you're 13, 33, or 73, your best days are ahead of you. Let's go make them count.
If you've made it this far, drop a 100 in the comments. It shows you are part of the 1% that's improving every single day.